The Sony Xperia 1 Mark 7 is official, and it's officially about $1,700 in the US. Well, it's not available in the US. That's what the cost equivalency will be because it's 1,499 euro. You can pre-order it and get a discount for 1,399 euro. But yeah, 1,499 euro. I did the math on this. I mean, I just typed it on the internet. It's like $1,670, and that's not including tax or shipping or anything. So that's just insane. Now, rest assured, I'm going to buy one because I love the Sony phones and I cover them here for the channel. So taking one, taking one for the team here because of course Sony Japan doesn't send me anything, even though I cover these phones exhaustively. But yeah, so it's official. A lot of things we already knew. 6.5-inch screen. Unfortunately, it is going to be full HD plus. So they still can't take it up to Quad HD plus. And I really got to be critical about this here. I mean, yeah, I get it. Your eyes can't really tell that much of a difference between Quad HD plus and Full HD plus, especially on a 6.5-inch screen. But if you're going to charge me basically $1,700, that sucker should have Quad HD plus. Now it's got a 5,000 milliamp battery, same as last year. Last year's phone got 2 days of battery pretty much easily. Like for most people, I could barely kill this thing in a day if I really tried. So battery life should still be spectacular. It's got Wi-Fi 7, still has a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, still has expandable SD card slot, which are fan favorites. I love those. Still has the fingerprint scanner in the power button. I did not get any word that it has facial recognition. I was not able to watch the keynote last night because I was busy dealing with the Samsung stuff and working late, but I don't think it still has that. But one nice thing is it does have 4 years of operating system updates now, which is something that I said they needed to do. So they have upgraded it finally, 4 years of operating system updates, 6 years of security patches. I'm excited about that. You should also be excited about that because that's one of the biggest things. Many of the complaints that we get when it comes to the Sony phone, the biggest one is always updates. So 4 years of operating system updates, 6 years of security patches. I think that's fine. And honestly, they've been really good the last year and a half with getting updates out, starting with Android 14, got Android 15 pretty quick. So I expect to see Android 16 hopefully this fall. And I think it'll be a good phone, but it's going to be darn stinking expensive. So upgrades in the camera department. There's a new primary camera. And it's supposed to be an even larger sensor this go around, so it should be better with low light and things like that. But bigger sensor is always better, and more light is going to translate to better photos across the board. New autofocus stuff with auto tracking for video, which should be pretty cool. It's going to have a new ultra wide camera. It looks like it's the same telephoto, but I do believe all of them, at least the primary and the ultra wide, or the Exmor sensor, it should be pretty good in the camera department, and I sincerely hope so because the sucker is expensive. I mean, 1,499 euro, that's a lot of money. I mean, people are complaining right now about the Galaxy S25 Edge being $1099, or people complain about the S25 Ultra being $1299. If you want this phone, you got to really want this phone, and you got to love these phones because it's a lot of money. And, I bought the last one, the Xperia 1 Mark 6. Actually, I just sold it recently to help pay for this. Money doesn't grow on trees. So it's one of those things where it's like, I gotta, just like anyone else who wants this, I gotta pay all this money out of pocket so I can make videos and so I can use it because I really do love the Sony phones. They've got a collaboration with Sony Alpha, with Walkman and Bravia. The screen is supposed to be better and brighter than ever using Bravia technology. They worked with the Walkman team to create better audio. So I'm really hoping the headphone jack has really good audio this go around. Their DAC quality has not been the best over the years, despite having a headphone jack, a little on the underpowered side. So I'm really hoping that this takes it to the next level. So headphone enthusiasts, this should be a win for you guys. And also, of course, you can still use that microphone as a line in for a direct mic. So that's really nice too. And then working with Sony Alpha for the camera. So here's how I look at this. If it delivers and it gives you Sony Alpha camera level quality into a smartphone, it's totally worth it. I mean, people go out and spend $3,000-$4,000 on a Sony Alpha camera. So if they really bring their A game, and this is a different proposition than so many other different phone manufacturers because they've got the power of Sony Alpha, they have the Sony camera heritage, they've got their flagship Exmor sensors. If they actually deliver, and this comes out and it's like the best camera phone you can get or one of the best, then I think it justifies the purchase price, because essentially it's a two-in-one. And if you've been in a position where you carry around a nice camera and you also carry a phone, just the idea of being able to use both of those just in a phone is fantastic. Plus, of course, you can pop the SD card in and out just like a regular camera. So there's so many nice features here. It's going to have OLED panel, 120 hertz refresh rate, still only 12 gigs of RAM, which is kind of annoying. You'd think that they would future-proof that more, but they're not really big on the whole AI thing. And 12 gigs of RAM is enough for AI. So I think it's okay. I mean, you take a look at even Samsung with the Galaxy S25 Ultra, it only has 12 gigs of RAM. So I think 12 gigs of RAM is still fine for the next few years. I would like to see 16, especially for the price. Where's the money going? The only way, the only place this money can possibly be going is to the Sony name, or they got a really good camera system in here. So if they've got a really good camera system, then it justifies it. 3 colors: slate black, orchid purple, and moss green. So not khaki green anymore, which I did like the khaki green. I did see this one in person. I'm going to get the orchid purple, as if there was any question. Y'all guys know I'm a big fan of purple colors, so the fact that we've got a purple Xperia phone again, I'm excited about, because we haven't had that since the Xperia 1 Mark IV. The screen is going to be 20% brighter, and they already got it nice and bright. I mean, they've made some significant strides in the display quality, the brightness, and I will go back and say, I was upset before when they ditched the 4K screen for the Full HD Plus, but the screen was beautiful. I used it as a daily driver for a while. I used it throughout the year. I was really impressed with the camera, with the screen upgrades. So, like, fundamentally, it'll be good. But principally, it just irks me that we still don't have Quad HD Plus. Like, everybody else is doing this. It's not hard to do a Quad HD Plus OLED. So, Sony, please fix that for the next one. No global model, which, I mean, there's no US model. There might be a global model. I got to figure out which one I'm going to buy and which one will work best here in the United States, because that was the big problem I had with the Xperia 1 Mark VI. The connectivity was just not great. There was no US model, no carrier certifications, despite having the bands and 5G and all that stuff. Just getting to work with the network. And it'll work with T-Mobile, but how well will it work with 5G? Will 5G work? Those are big questions that I have. I'll have to test that out. 256 gigabytes of storage. They have a 512 option, it appears, and 4.32 gigahertz is what it's clocked at. This is going to be an amazing gaming phone. And Sony has been fantastic with, like, the pass-through charging. Their speakers just last year were next to none. Best speakers I've used in a phone. I expect them to be just as good, if not better, here. So they're going to bring it. Like, this is going to be an amazing gaming phone. It's going to be great for camera quality. So it's going to have 48 megapixel XMOR T-main sensor, shoots in 24 and 48 millimeter focal lengths. Then you get the telescopic macro, which is still there. That was really cool. You get that continuous zoom, the real optical zoom with the camera. That's going to be 85 millimeter to 175 millimeter, 170 millimeter, which I believe is the same as last year. And yeah, I think most of the stuff's going to be nice. IP68, Gorilla Glass Victus 2, and that's some other things. It's like, okay, we're on like Victus Armor, we're on the Victus Ceramic. We've got all these nice things. It seems like they kind of kept a lot of the hardware specs the same as last year, which, okay, whatever. But this phone's more, it's crazy expensive. So I would like to see some more niceties thrown in here. But Android 15 out of the box. And sorry, this is kind of straightforward. Like, I read a lot of this stuff, but, you know, just trying to make sure I give you all the most accurate information. I'm sorry there's not a whole lot of graphics and pretty stuff here. I've been running ragged the last few days, just got back from New York again on Saturday, and then Mother's Day Sunday, and then losing my grandma this last week, and then several days making multiple videos. I just want to make sure I get this info to y'all. Like, y'all deserve this. Y'all been waiting. The new phone is finally here. It's going to start shipping on June the 4th, I believe, from what I was reading, which that's fine. But it's available for pre-order now at different outlets, you know, internationally. I'm not sure which ones, but I'm looking forward to it. I love the Sony phones. Y'all guys and gals that watch my videos know that I love the Sony phones. So this is one of the biggest phones I've been waiting for this whole year. And just like last year, favorite phones, the Pixel phone, the Sony phone, the Motorola Razr, and it looks like these are going to be some nice ones again this year. Exciting stuff on the horizon with the Pixel 10 series phones. I'm using the Motorola Razr Ultra as my daily driver right now. I can't wait to test out the Sony Xperia 1 Mark VII whenever I get my hands on it. I don't know how soon I'll be able to get it. Like, I might not be able to get it here day one. I got to see how I can buy it and get it here to the U.S. and then how long that's going to take. with that process. So I'm going to do my best. I will get it. Last year it was the same problem trying to get it for availability. I think I ended up getting it like 2 or 3 weeks after the phone came out. So I will be doing my best to get my hands on one. I will have videos available once I do get it. I mean, I know y'all are excited. I'm excited. And just trying to make sure I didn't miss anything here. But yeah, super good stuff. Snapdragon 8 Elite, 12 gigs of RAM, 256 storage. Still only 30-watt wireless charging, which, I mean, I'm mostly okay with. It's still faster than the iPhone. And I know it's funny because on the iPhone side, nobody ever talks about how slow the charging is. But on Android, because there are significantly higher charging speeds, anything under 60 watts, people are like, oh, it's so slow. I'm like, well, you say it's slow, but it's still like 50% faster than the flagship iPhone. So in consumer world, really 30-watt charging is really, really not that bad. I don't have too many problems with it, especially since the battery lasts stinking for forever. Like the battery is just so good. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. If you have any questions, comments, gripes, concerns, complaints, all that stuff, please go to the comment section. I'll do my best to get back with you. But let me know, are you still going to buy one? If you're here in the U.S., are you going to try and get one? Or is it just too much of a hassle? Too many question marks up in the air? Is the price too much? I mean, when you take a look around at the landscape and you go, okay, $12.99 for an S25 Ultra, which you can get for like $1,100 now. You can get great trade-in deals. You can get them all the time. The new S25 Edges here. You got the iPhone. You got the Pixel phones. They've had great deals on those. Is a Sony Xperia 1 Mark 7 basically worth almost twice as much as some of these phones, even the OnePlus 13? So that's the thing. You got to really love this phone. You got to really want this phone. And we'll see how it goes. But I hope that this is the best generation of their cameras yet. I really hope they deliver and give us a top-tier camera experience. Because that's one of the things. Yeah, they get hated on so much because even though they have Sony's cameras and they have all these things, they're never at the top whenever it comes to cameras. Even though I love them. I think they shoot amazing video. I love the cameras. I love being able to use the Pro Controls and all that stuff. So I think you can take amazing photos with them. But their point and shoot has always been a little behind because they don't lean heavily on that computational photography. So we'll see what we get. Let me know what you think. And if you enjoyed the video, please, of course, hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching. And I'll see you guys next time.